It's 9:03.
In your
late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. And I know when that hotline went.
That is right. You are listening now to Ball Talk, and it is back for another year. Who would have thought? We are back, but we are happy to be here in the studio here at 2BACR. Just a quick one. We do want to thank the guys there at Talking Tennis for a lovely show. Good to hear the boys back as well for the new year.
Plenty for him to talk about as well. There has been lately.
There has been, with the disappointing crowd figures there at the Sydney International, as well as Bernard Tomic's little dispute yesterday, or lack of effort really to actually try and play out the game. So it was good to be back. So welcome. My name is Daniel, and
So I'm Joshua.
And that is Joshua as well. And that is a bit of Barack Obama singing Hotline Bling in the background there. We are going to be hopefully adding some different things to the show this year. So
It's exciting.
Welcome back to long-time listeners, and of course, welcome to our first-time listeners. I guess we might as well start from the start. That's the best place to start, isn't it?
No.
All
Middle.
right, well, we're going to fire off with, I think it's beneficial, I think, not only for us, but also for the listeners, maybe to recap who we are. So I'll let you kick that all off first.
Me. My name's Joshua, as you know. Like you said, all the other listeners that have hopefully joined on and are now part of the old Ball Talk crew.
What sports have you played, or what sports do you try to play?
Exactly right. That's the thing. What sports haven't I tried to play? You know, I have been around when it comes to the sports. I've played some golf, played some tennis. I'm currently playing soccer, play touch. Like I said, you name it, I'm there.
He's like
I'm basically I'm an all rounder.
Like, he's an all-rounder. That's what it's all about. Well, for myself, my name's Daniel. Obviously, I've got a bit of a sporting background. Played rugby league for most of the life. Played a bit of AFL down in Melbourne as well. Made school teams for cricket, and obviously I play Oz tag as well, and try to kick the soccer ball around, and maybe even get a run up.
Might get a run this year, eh?
Might even have a run. Who knows? I could be a run up starter.
Oh, we'll see. We'll have to see about that, eh?
What teams do you follow? Just so that way we can hold them against you later in the year.
NRL, Newcastle, big year this year for us.
Oh yeah.
Signing of Nathan Brown as coach.
Brownie's on.
You got Hodgko's come back this year. So I'm actually really looking forward to the Hodgkinson-Mullen combination.
Let's see how long it lasts.
Yeah.
Before injury takes its place.
Mullen's already in trouble. he's already had a bit of off-season trouble from Brownie. Brownie's actually dropped him for the only trial that Newcastle have.
Yeah.
For drinking while he was injured in the off-season. So yeah, him and a few of the boys got together and had a quiet one, and somehow Nave found out.
Oh, not a good thing for
Uncle Nave. So Newcastle for the NRL, AFL, Swans fan. I know you sort of follow the Swans when our producer's not around. Angela, you sort of go for the Hawks.
Oh, well, hang on. No. I know she's listening as well at the moment, so I actually love the Swans.
Yes.
But, if the Swans aren't playing against the Hawks, then, I'll jump on the Hawks bandwagon as well. I love Hodgie, Cyril. So, I follow the Sharks in the league, and I've got, split allegiances
mixed teams
when it comes to the AFL. Super Rugby, I think we're both agreeing that Waratahs are the household for this station, or for us here
for
at
the household.
Yeah, Ball Talk support Waratahs. So check if you will. I think they've got a new coach now. Has Check resigned? Michael Checker's now no longer the Waratahs coach?
Yeah, I think he is gone because he's
just taking on the national.
Just for the Australian side.
EPL.
Chelsea.
Ooh,
we're in a little bit of a slump at the moment. We'd actually come fairly good the last few weeks, and we haven't had a loss in about 5 or 6 weeks. So that is a good thing, but we're not winning all of them, so that's not a good thing. So yeah, bit of a slump for the old Chelsea fans. But I mean, it could be worse. You could follow who you follow.
No. Nothing wrong with following Newcastle. You bleed red, even for the Liverpool legends, which I must have missed, if I'm honest. I think I had something else on that night.
I think it was a good value.
I think many people would have missed it if I'm honest. But I follow Liverpool, NBA. Unfortunately, I'm a Lakers man, and
I'm a Celtics fan, so
I know that Kobe's last season is just well and truly overdue.
yeah.
So that should hopefully mean that we're able to now spend money elsewhere other than Kobe and Kobe's shoelaces and Kobe's jerseys and Kobe's haircuts.
Yeah, so yeah, it could be exciting.
NFL,
Green Bay
Packers.
the Cheeseheads.
I'm a Pats man. Both still alive in the playoffs, which we
Yeah,
will
we'll
obviously
be talking about.
talking a little bit about later in the show. And A-League.
A-League, I'm a Newcastle Jets / Sydney FC.
Yeah, I'm Sydney FC. I'm not a Wanderers man.
I don't mind the Sky Blues, but
I know that may surprise the people in the Bankstown district, but we aren't singing for the RBB.
the RBB, yeah.
I think it's what it's called.
Yeah, the red and black block.
Yeah, so look, that's us for, I guess, a bit of a recap, and that's who we are. I'll let you... We've also now got a Facebook account and also an Instagram account. So what are those, Joshua?
So the Facebook is Ball Talk at 2BACR 100.9 FM. And our Instagram is Ball Talk Sports, all one word. So
Excellent.
jump on that, and like we started at the start of the show, like we said at the start of the show, there's going to be some interesting things coming throughout this year. So hopefully we can get a few things up on there, also on the Facebook as well. And yeah, exciting times.
Yeah, worth noting as well for those that may be new to the show or long-time listeners, we were only on for 1 hour last year, but for some reason, somehow out there, they've allowed us to have the 2 hours and let us put our heads together to come up with a few other creative items.
Yeah.
We're also looking forward to, if you are out there and you are listening and you may have a niece or a nephew or an aunt and an uncle who plays in a sporting team or has an affiliation to a sporting team in the Bankstown district, get in contact with us here at 2BACR because we're also looking to get out in the grounds and I guess interview people, whether it be over the phone, whether it be face to face. There is an opportunity because we're looking to obviously spread the message that Bankstown is best, and that's what this station's all about. We are a community radio station, so the Bankstown Auburn community radio station. So we're looking to get out into those areas and obviously
trying to give back to the people.
Exactly right. Well, yeah, look, at the end of the day, we give so much during this 2 hours. We might as well just get out there and give some more. 'Cause I know that's what the fans are wanting. So we've been away for probably 4 weeks, I think, middle of December now into the middle of January. So there's a few things have gone down in the meantime. So Sydney to Hobart being the big one. Oh, well, I've already lost that. That's the first slip up of 2016.
Start again.
The Sydney to Hobart occurred obviously during the break with Comanche beating its rivals. First female co-owner. Sorry,
She's a co-owner, former Australian actress and model, Christy Hines
Clark.
That's
There we go, Christy Hines Clark. So Christy Hines Clark obviously being one of the first female co-owners to obviously win the Sydney to Hobart. A lot of I guess broken sales from I think Wild Oats. I think they bowed out with a sale problem. I think one of the other top ones.
I can't remember it either.
It's just eluded me. I should have wrote it down. But at the end of the day, apparently it was a pretty easy race. Once
the two big boys were out, it sort of just Comanche just sort of flew through, didn't she?
Yeah, Ragamuffin finishing in second and then Rambler in third there. So at the end of the day, it's still a very good race, and a lot of Australians do obviously switch on to watch it. So it would have been. I thought the coverage this year though was a little bit lackluster.
No, I didn't.
I know that they showed the start of it for I think maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, but then it went missing and
It's gone. I actually didn't. I couldn't find it anyway because I think I might have even actually said to you that what channel is it on, and
yeah, well,
it's usually on 7 or on 9 or on 10. It's usually on one of the major, or one of the big 3.
Yep.
And just couldn't find it anywhere. Like it's not even to just to watch. I mean, I'm sure people aren't going to sit there and watch the whole race, But you got to have at least a couple of hour snips just of some highlights, just to basically keeping up with who's where and what's happening.
Yeah, no offense to, I guess, Channel 2 or SBS, but what else is on during that time? Maybe just throw a 2-hour grab, or even late at night. So the other ones that we were thinking of was Wild Oats 11. So that was the one that was on the tip of our tongue, I think.
Didn't we say that?
Did we say, well, yeah, I think we might have.
That was the main one.
Perpetual Loyal was the one.
that's
So
it,
with
yeah.
Anthony Bell, Anthony Bell usually, one of our friends used to work for Anthony Bell down at Sydney there, just behind where I used to live. I can't even think where it was, down at the Cockle Bay there. There
Cockle
we go.
Bay Wharf, yeah.
We got there eventually. So lots has been happening there. We've also, whilst we were away, we've played and destroyed West Indies in the cricket. What were your thoughts on that one?
Just lackluster. I mean, and anyone and anybody who'd watched from game one, basically the West Indies looked like they didn't want to be here. It's the same thing as everybody that commentators were saying, the media were saying. They just didn't look like they want to be here, and it showed.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing, if I'm honest. Like the scheduling as well, it's got to be questioned as far as why would we play against the West Indies team.
They've based Cricket Australia's basically come out and said, look, the West Indies, they'll never be back.
Yeah,
They'll never be back here again for a test in Australia, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
Why and try and, like, it's hard because you got to try and help them out as well, but you can't be sacrificing yourself to be doing it when they're not going to even show up for a game.
Yeah, you can't say never. I think never say never, because at the end of the day, they could turn around and start becoming a better team, and they could all of a sudden
until that happens. That's
and that's a long way off.
Yeah.
Back to I know we've skipped ahead, but obviously Bob Oatley, the owner of Wild Oats, as well, passed away. So we did want to make sure that we mentioned that as well. So sad to see him go, but I think he's lived a good life, and
so they had a good run. What are they up to? I think they've had a few wins, haven't they?
I think they won a few years in a row there as well. So
yeah.
But yeah, Australia versus West Indies. I think the second and the third test, I thought the West Indies dug in a little bit more.
Well, they were better than the first test. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, which wasn't hard.
Yeah.
And then also, whilst I don't know if we got to see the end of it. Did we see the end of the New Zealand test as well?
I can't remember.
I know that I think that series may have not started or may have just finished by the time we were on air. So it was good to see at least. I think Australia is still undefeated this summer at the moment. So that ticks on with India's 2 one-day wins, which we will cover off a little bit later as well.
Yeah, going back to the West Indies, I feel for the captain of the West Indies, Jason Holder. Mate, he was pretty much the only bloke the whole time that actually wanted to have a go. He was trying different things, bringing different bowlers in at different times, bowling himself because obviously he's a paceman himself, and just trying different things and trying to get the boys to go. And then it's just the lack of support from the older guys in the team with your Kemo Roach and...
it's not. I keep thinking Darren Sammy. It's not Sammy though, but
yeah,
Marlon Samuels.
Yeah, Marlon Samuels. Like just the lack of support from them with this young kid coming through, trying to basically pick up the West Indies and say, look, we're here. We used to be a powerhouse. Why can't we be it now? And you know, I do. I feel for the bloke because he looked like the whole series that he was trying, and probably one of the only guys that was actually trying in the end. So it's unfortunate for the West Indies and him, but hopefully they can sort a few things out. And I mean, if these guys aren't going to support him, you might as well be bringing in people that are going to help support.
Yeah, a lot of furor around why they actually even bothered coming out. So you can only do what you can do, I guess.
Like we said, we discussed it earlier as well. You had the boys like Chris Gale and a few of the other guys who did opt to play for the Big Bash, which is also another thing. And I mean, we say that they shouldn't have played for the Big Bash, but at the end of the day, if they wanted to play for the Big Bash, let them play for the Big Bash, because at least they're going to be committed to that and then not come play the test. Or, I mean, you can't really say that because I mean the other guys that did show up didn't really play. So, but at least you'd rather have those people that aren't going to want to not play for you. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, well, we also obviously have now started the series against India as well. I don't know if you wanted to kick off about that, or did you want to save that for a little bit later in the show?
We'll come back to it.
No worries, easy. Another big one was the Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo. So if you've got 30 seconds, you might as well listen to the full thing. So here it is.
Here we go! Green
trunks for the southpaw, the notorious Conor McGregor. Black trunks for the champion, Jose Aldo Jr. Conor relaxed and smiling. Oh!
That's it. That's all over.
That's the fight.
14 seconds. It was a cracking fight for, I guess, Conor McGregor. Not so much for Jose Aldo. All over in 14 seconds. And you could hear the excitement in the arena just there. I cut it off because it was actually deafening my ears. So I can only imagine what it felt like for the listeners out there. But what do you say? Conor McGregor, he promised he was going to beat him, promised he was going to do it in the first round. Even said that he was too eager to hit him, like as in Jose Aldo was too eager just to. There's a lot was said in the build-up to it.
Exactly.
He was too eager to actually try and hurt him instead of just fighting with a cool, calm head. Said he was going to go harder than what he should, which he did.
For anybody that didn't actually see the fight, in the actual, it's basically they both connected at the same time. Aldo threw a punch as well. And it was just the split second that McGregor sort of got that little bit in front of him. And I reckon had he have not got there before him, I reckon it could have gone the other way.
Yeah,
It's quite interesting. Like he did, like Aldo did still obviously land the punch, but he was already out before he'd actually landed the punch, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's interesting, and it still looked like he hit him pretty hard.
Yeah. What's he saying? Precision beats power, and timing beats. I've lost the line, but he said it straight after it as well. So at the end of the day, he is a real powerhouse, and now he's going up in the weight division as well to take on. Let's have a quick look. UFC 193 is it, or 194? It might be.
Yeah, he'll be the first person I think since Nick Diaz. To basically go up and actually be able to hold two titles at a time. I think Nick Diaz was in 2009 or something when the sport was sort of just getting big. It's been the first time that it's actually been allowed to be done, because I think usually if you go up a weight division or down a weight division, the Dana White and the UFC, they basically force you to vacate the belt that you've got. So it's interesting to see why is I don't know if you'd know, but why is he allowed to be doing it?
Because he commands the people.
Yeah, I know he commands the people, but if that's the case, then you drop your belt, you go up, and you dominate that division.
Who else is coming for him though? Like at the end of the day, no one else. If you can tell me another name, like I'm not a big UFC fan, but who else is coming for him in that division? So you want to see a bloke that is coming for him up against another guy?
No, I'm not saying that he shouldn't. I'm not saying that he can't go up in the weight divisions. That's fine, but you've got to vacate that belt.
Yeah, but then the problem is who's going to fight for that belt that he's vacating?
Two other guys. Why does it matter?
Two nobodies. Exactly.
Why does it matter? They don't care.
It matters to the UFC.
They don't care, mate. They'll follow where McGregor goes, and that's all they care about.
But that's the thing. UFC now have this thing. Well, okay, he's now going to fight Rafael dos Anjos, who's a weight division above him. Why bother vacating the belt when we can maybe bring him back down to fight another guy after he's won that division? Yeah. So then he's holding the two divisions. Now he's got...
Assuming he wins that division.
The pool to fight people in has now doubled for him because he's got the two weight divisions above.
I'm sure he's got plenty of people that want to fight him.
Yeah, well...
I don't want to put the UFC down, but it sort of comes down to that bit of money, doesn't it? It's the same for boxing as well. You want the big crowds, you want the money, you want the two people that are going to draw the biggest crowds, and that's the aim of the sport, basically, isn't it? I mean, you're fighting. But at the end of the day, you want to be popular in that regard. So, I can understand what you're saying in that situation. Whereas he then does have two divisions where he is like that, but. I mean, it's not fair.
Oh, jeez. Not a fan
give it to the other bloke who's coming number two.
You don't even know who he is.
Exactly. You don't need to know.
You don't.
And then if he wants to come back down, he can then fight McGregor for it.
You're sitting there saying, "Oh, I'll give it to the other bloke." You don't even know who the other bloke actually is.
I'll find out by the end of the show.
Oh yeah. Well, good luck to you, because It's going to be a long, long show if you're trying to find who it is,
What
because
is it?
no one knows.
He's light middleweight, isn't he?
Oh, jeez, hang on. Let's not do this on air. Obviously, this week we've also had to deal with the tragic passings of two legends, which are Bob sorry, not Bob Bailey. I've got David Bowie and Alan.
Again.
Yeah, no, David Bowie and Alan Rickman. David Bowie, obviously, both were 69 and both were taken by cancer. Alan Rickman, noted for
Also, Lemmy also has passed away as well. Just don't want to leave Lemmy out.
Who? Sorry.
Lemmy. He's it was a few weeks ago. It's all right.
Oh, hang on, no. Who's Lemmy? Fill the listeners in.
Nah, don't worry about it. Let's go.
No. Come on.
Are we playing a song or what?
Oh, hang on. Jeez, you just cut it. You've cut it, have you? We've lost David Bowie, obviously, and we've also got Alan Rickman. Obviously, we can't play an Alan Rickman song, although he does actually have one. I think I've seen an audio. I think it was in a video clip, as far as a music video. So that could be interesting. We now are going to play a little bit of David Bowie. I can't give everything away. A bit of an old one. Oh, sorry, it's part of his new album, as far as the Black Star album, which is now available as well. So here is David Bowie. I can't give everything away. We'll be right back after this. We've also got a few new segments coming up. So we've got The Champ is Here. So we're going to be speaking to our American correspondent, James Farnsworth. He'll be giving us all the rundown as far as NFL and what to expect over the this weekend of NFL playoffs. After that, we'll then probably run through Bush Best, which is a returning segment from last year, as well as a few new segments later on in the show. So we'll be right back after this. David Bowie, I can't give everything away. And this is Ball Talk. Thank you for tuning in. And that was David Bowie there with I Can't Give Everything Away. Oh, there we go. I Can't Give Everything Away. And we now have...
First show back for the year, mate.
Yeah, I know. Well, they've got two phone lines.
Getting the buttons going right here.
Yeah, I know. They've got two phone lines, that's all. We are now going to start with our new segment, which we have. So we've even got a little bit of a theme song.
Nice little song for you.
Nice little intro here. The theme song being... The Champ is Here. So, James, are you there?
James is here. Good morning, guys. How you going?
Good morning, James. How are you? Good to have you on air for the first time.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Bit like the intro there, mate. The Champ is here.
Say again?
Did you like the intro? The Champ is here.
Oh, absolutely. It makes me feel right at home.
All right, so just for, I guess, the listeners' sake, do you mind if you just give a little bit of an insight as to who you are and, I guess, your background?
Yeah, no problem. My name is James, as you said. I'm from America. I'm from Ohio, Cleveland. That's my home. I moved out here to Sydney about 2 years ago. When I got married, I married a citizen here, so that brought me here. I'm an avid sports fanatic, especially when it comes to the NFL and the NBA. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Who are your teams, James?
Well, being from Cleveland, I'm a Browns fan. The Browns, the laughing stock of the NFL, but they're my guys. I ride with them. And there's no going away from that. Comes to NBA, Cavaliers. Glad LeBron came home. That's a big boost. And if we're gonna talk about baseball, I like the Indians, but I'm not really into baseball too much. That's kind of a slow sport for me.
Yeah, no, I think we tend to stay clear of baseball here. We may give it a mention when it comes to finals time, but other than that, mate, we tend to steer clear of baseball as well. Okay, so let's. I guess the purpose of this segment is, well, at the end of the day, you are the local boy, or I guess the American boy who's got the foot on the ground and knows a lot more than what we do here. We are just, I guess, we're your average punters having a watch every now and then. So it's good to get, I guess, your insight. We had the wildcard games just over the weekend, or just last weekend as well. Some big games there and some tight ones as well, with the Chiefs obviously blowing out the Texans in that one.
Yeah. The Chiefs, man, they are fire right now. They started the season 1-5. Yeah. They lost their All-Pro running back. And since then, they've rattled off 10 wins in a row. They're looking dominant. And now they're going into New England.
Yeah.
And we all know who New England is, 4-time Super Bowl champs in the last decade. Tom Brady, everyone knows them. New England lost the last 2 games of the season, though. So it's going to be interesting. They have some injuries, but it seems like everybody is back. Gronk had some knee treatment yesterday before practice, so people are a little worried about him. But it's going to be a battle. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be cold, about 4 degrees Celsius. And, it's going to be a pleasure to watch.
With the Chiefs and Texans game last week, do you think it was Brad Hoyer, I guess, being pressured? Or was it just Brad Hoyer having a bad game, or was it the Chiefs' defense coming up huge?
That's pretty much Hoyer's game. He's either really good or really bad. Last season, he was the Browns quarterback. And it was the same thing. We started off 7-4, and then we lost the last 5 games straight. So the guy, he plays good, but when he's in a high-pressure situation, he folds like a cheap lawn chair.
Yeah, it doesn't help when you're kicking off and then they return it for a touchdown to start the game either.
Oh, that momentum swing is huge, especially for the road team. I mean, it got the crowd quiet, and when stuff like that happens, that momentum swings, you can feel it. It's real.
We've been the other game, I guess, was the Steelers and Bengals. Quite a lot of hatred in that one. I guess for us as fans, are you able to explain where the hatred comes from, or was it just something that popped up this season due to an injury?
The hatred is real. That's for sure. The main thing is Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, about 5 hours away driving distance. They're in the same division, so they're bitter division rivals. And it goes way back. I mean, we're going back to the 60s with this. But in recent times, these two teams make the playoffs often. They play each other twice a year in the regular season every year. They've had epic playoff battles where quarterbacks were knocked out for seasons and ruined people's seasons. And last week, if you watched the game, at the end, when it was imminent that Cincinnati was going to lose, there's a guy named Vontez Burfict.
Yeah.
He took a cheap shot on Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL. He was coming over the middle. The guy took a cheap shot head on head and gave him a concussion. Oh. So Antonio Brown's out this week, and that's huge.
But he's definitely out this week?
Yeah, he's out this week.
Because I know a lot of I was listening to Dan Patrick as well, and I think they had a Bengals player on there who said that they asked Antonio Brown if he was okay as he was leaving the field, and he said that Antonio Brown winked at him, and that meant that he was okay and that he was just playing along with it. But if he's out this week, then I guess it's hard to argue that. So I think he got a 3-game suspension as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Burfict, he did. He got a 3-game suspension starting into next year. The guy you were talking about that was, talking a little trash about Antonio Brown winking at him, his name is Pac-Man Jones.
That's it.
He actually came out and apologized today because the injury is actually real and significant. And the NFL is real heavy on the concussion protocol, so any sign of concussion, you're out.
Yeah, there was also, I guess, a few incidents in that game. Like, the Bengals had the game won. They were up, I think, by 2 with... up by, I think, 1 or 2 with 90 seconds to go, and then all they needed to do was take a few knees, and then instead they run and then fumble, and then they give away a 30-yard penalty as well, where I think they made contact with an official, or there was coaching staff on the field as well. So it was a crazy game to watch as well.
Yeah, it turned into a bit of a circus at the end there. Cincinnati definitely had the game locked up. They were just trying to run time off. The unfortunate thing happened where the running back fumbled it. Pittsburgh recovered it. And then as you saw those 2 penalties, the one with the hit to Antonio Brown. And then there was an altercation between one of the players and one of the coaches from Pittsburgh, which gave him that second penalty.
Yeah, and put him into field goal range.
Exactly, and then that's it. And then Pittsburgh gets out of there with the win.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Great. You couldn't write it if you tried, I don't think.
Yeah, right.
And then we had the Seahawks and the Vikings game.
Yeah. What a game.
Yeah,
what a game. Vikings building that program. They looked good all year. They earned a home field playoff game first time since like the late '90s, I believe, when they had Randy Moss down there.
Yeah.
And they had the game all but one, and they just folded in the fourth quarter. They gave up 10 points and lost the game.
Yeah, well, 27-yard field goal as well to win it for Blair Walsh. Although some would argue that Adrian Peterson's fumble as well probably would have cost them in the end. But hard to say that Blair Walsh wasn't. It's hard to say that he isn't at fault for this one.
Yeah, well, look, it's a team sport. Adrian Peterson's fumble late, that definitely was a factor.
Yeah.
But the fact is, if you're a kicker in the NFL and you get paid millions of dollars to kick field goals and you miss a 27-yard chip shot in the playoffs at home, that's unacceptable.
Yeah. You're in trouble there, aren't you?
What's that?
You said you're in trouble there, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. If I was a Vikings fan, I would be livid. But, as a fan and an analyst of the game, I also understand that these things happen.
Yeah.
But if you look at the replay, the placeholder actually held the ball with the laces facing the kicking foot, which is what ruined the trajectory of the ball. So there was a lot of mistakes that happened, but still, it all falls on the kicker. That's it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the responsibility falls with him. But yeah, hard to avoid as well all the Ray Finkel lines that would have been thrown at Blair Walsh as well. Not to mention, a few of the memes that I've seen as well were quite witty, and the laces were out. So the other game was
we had the Packers and the Redskins as well. Packers obviously finally clicking, and they had an awful start to the game, but they sort of clicked at the end of it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. That first quarter was ugly. When I was watching that, and I thought, wow, Green Bay is starting to fall off.
Yeah, Rodgers with the safety as well.
Yeah, well, the first four.
The safety. I think it was a lot of nerves and just a lot of pressure playing on the road again. And that's another thing. Last week, all the road teams won, which is the first time that's ever happened for a wild card round.
Well spotted. I missed that one. I actually missed that. Well spotted. Yeah, well, the first four drives, I think, for Green Bay were punt, safety, punt. So the first quarter, I think they yielded a massive 11 yards. It wasn't looking good there. And then all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers comes out and he's smiling and he's happy to be on the field. And then they also got their run game with Lacey and Starks dominating that second half.
Yep.
So
they sort of completed it.
All the greats, they'll sit there, they'll analyze the situation, they'll make adjustments. And the good ones like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and them, they find ways to win.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
What you saw happen there.
Yeah. Well, let's look ahead to this week's games. As we've already touched on before, the Chiefs play the Chiefs play at the Patriots, the Packers at the Cardinals, the Seahawks at the Panthers, and the Steelers at the Broncos. So you mentioned that Julian Edelman, he is back for the Patriots.
Yeah, he's expected to be back and ready to go. And last year he played a major role in their playoff run. So they're happy to have him back. They believe Gronk is going to be near 100%. He's still having some knee problems, but they need him. They need them both. They need to be firing.
Yeah, most certainly. I think Gronk will be the bigger loss out of him, just with his experience as well. So. Yeah, hopefully he does play because the Patriots, they do play a lot better with him there.
Oh, absolutely. The guy he's a mismatch nightmare. You can't guard him because he's a tight end, but he'll split out wide, and then you got to put a linebacker on him, and there's just no chance.
Yeah.
Brady knows that,
The thing is, even if Brady doesn't throw to him, he's still got him there, and he's still probably going to get double covered. So that opens it up for other people down the field or across the field. And that's where I think the quick snaps that the Patriots rely on, they haven't been going so well without Edelman there, because the offensive line for the Patriots is pretty lackluster at the moment. And it comes up against a pretty good defensive line this week with Justin Houston and others that are actually in the Chiefs' defensive line. So could they make Brady turn into a Hoyer? Could he go full Hoyer?
I don't think there's any chance of that happening. What you're going to see from New England, I believe, is they're gonna pound the ball. They're gonna run the ball early in the game. they're going to try to bring about 8 or 9 guys into the box, and then they're going to put Brady in the shotgun. And like you said, they're going to either get double teams on Gronk, which will open up underneath routes, or they're going to be able to go deep on him because everybody's inside trying to stop the run. But you're right. It all comes down to the offensive line. You don't want Brady to have to hold the ball too long. He's got 3 seconds, and he's got to make a choice and deliver a pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the Chiefs are coming.
Yeah, exactly right. We've also got Jeremy Macklin, who has he been listed to play at the Chiefs? I know he had a high ankle sprain as well.
They're not saying too much about that. They were very relieved that he didn't tear his ACL again. It is a high ankle sprain. It's going to be a game time decision. They do need him, but at the same time, when he went out last week, the rookie from Florida State, his name escapes me at the time, he came in and he played amazing as well. But if Macklin is in, then yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah, exactly right. Creates. Although, funnily enough, I was looking at the stats the other day. The Patriots defense, I think, is second best at sacks at the moment as well. So it should make for an interesting matchup. Just for the fans out there and the listeners out there, who are you going with that one?
Conventional wisdom tells me to go ahead and go with the Patriots. I mean, they're playing at home. It's going to be a wet, cold, grind-out game, and the Patriots grind the best.
Excellent. Josh?
Yeah, you got to go with the Pats. Exact same reason that James has just said.
And I'll go Pats as well. We're just jotting this down that way we can all be held accountable for this next week's James. Should they be a blowout? Well, as a Pats fan, I'd be hard pressed to go against them. Packers at the Cardinals. Now this one looks like it could be. It just depends, I guess, if Aaron Rodgers starts finding who
shows up for the Packers.
Yeah, there was a joke going around earlier in the week that the Packers actually flip a coin in the dressing room before they come out to see which Packers team is actually going to take the field.
Yeah, that looks about right because they either show up or they don't. It's really strange because it's not normally how a Packers team operates.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been good since Brett Favre. So It's been a long time since we've seen them struggle. There was a time earlier this season where I didn't know if they were even going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they looked very shaky during the back end of the season.
Yeah.
It looked very shaky, and I think they got touched up by the Cardinals as well, right near the end of the season as well. So that should be an interesting.
Yeah, I mean, to their credit, they have had a lot of injuries offensively, which has reduced their ability to score and drive the ball down the field. But like you said, they played Arizona in December.
Yep.
Arizona destroyed them 38-8.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. This is the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's
exactly
totally
right.
Different animal.
Different mindset, different game, different day.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone is putting everything on the line.
Yeah.
Which way do you see this one going?
I'll go. I'm going to go with Arizona simply because their defense, their defensive backfield is the best in the NFL, and to beat them, you have to be able to pass against them, and I just don't think that Green Bay is going to have the weapons this week to get it done.
Josh?
Look, I'm going to go the Packers, obviously being a Packers fan, but if they do get done, everyone can quote me on this, Cardinals, they will win.
Oh, they
will win the Super Bowl.
Going all the way.
Yeah, they will go all the way if they don't lose this week.
Oh, jeez, that's a big call. We'll speak to you in early February, mate, because that is a huge one. I think with Jordy Nelson out for the Packers, I just don't see who he's going to be able to throw the ball to Aaron Rodgers. So Jordy Nelson's cost them all year without being there. So he hasn't really got the attacking weapons that he used to have last season when they really should have gone to the Super Bowl instead of that onside kick against Seattle. So I'm going to go Cardinals as well. I'm not as confident as Joshua is. If they win it, they're going to go all the way. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. The next game would be the Seahawks at the Panthers. This one we were speaking about during the week. This could just be a shootout.
Yeah, it really could. I mean, you have a young, vibrant, exuberant team in the Panthers. They love to be in the spotlight. They love to get rowdy. They love to dance. They love to score. They love to embarrass their opponents. Right? They went 15-1 in the regular season.
Yep.
That's one of the best records of all time for a single season. Cam Newton, their quarterback, he's having an MVP season. He'll probably end up getting the MVP. But then you have Seattle. They've been to the last 2 Super Bowls. They won one of them. They're experienced. They are animals when it comes to the playoffs. Pete Carroll gets them ready. They bring a different level of energy. If you ever watch their games, especially defensively, they're on a whole nother level. And they are going to come after Cam Newton. They have the speed to contain him. Cam Newton is going to have to be a pocket passer, and he's going to have to be accurate, and he's going to have to make good decisions the whole game, all 4 quarters. It's going to be a tough game. You're not going to see the same Seattle that you saw last week.
No.
That's just it's just not going to happen. The weather is going to be great. It's going to be clear. I believe it's going to be about 15 degrees Celsius. So, yeah, it's going to be perfect conditions.
I tend to agree. I think it really comes down to who has the better game out of Russell Wilson and Cam Newton. I think realistically both the defenses sort of nullify one of each other, and it really makes for an interesting story. I'm not sure which this one was the toughest one for me to pick. I think it really was. Which way were you going on this one, Josh?
Yeah, I'm going to go the Panthers. So it's going to be tough because, like you just mentioned, the weather will be good for Russell Wilson, and he obviously he struggled in the cold.
Yep.
And it could also bring back his running game as well, which he's obviously great at. But I see the Panthers just getting through it. I don't know if Marshall Lynch is playing.
Are you aware if Marshall Lynch travelled with the team, James?
Yeah, he's expected to play this week.
Yeah.
But he's been out for a long time.
Yeah,
so
he's going to have a little bit of rust on him.
Yeah.
We'll see how effective he can be. Panthers have a great linebacking core. They're going to be able to contain the run. They've been able to all season. So it's going to be interesting. And they also played. These 2 guys matched up way back in Week 6, and Carolina actually beat them 27-23, and that was in Seattle. So it's a different story now. It's in Carolina. It's playoffs. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, I'll stick with the Panthers for that one.
Which one are you going, James?
Yeah, honestly, I'm going to go with the Panthers just simply because the season they're having. I think it's going to be one of those changing of the guard games. If you see Carolina win, they're putting their foot down, their concrete stamp on the NFL because they've been to the playoffs recently. They haven't had success, but with that experience and with the team they have this year, I think they're ready to go, and I think they will beat Seattle this week.
I'm going to buck the trend. I'm going to go the Seahawks. I think too much big game experience for me, and I think that Russell Wilson will just be able to get enough done. I don't expect it to be a blowout in any sense, but I think Russell Wilson's playing really, really well. I know he had a tough week last week, but I like the matchups, and I think that he'll be able to find a lot more. I think Cam Newton could struggle against the Legion of Boom. I think the defense. Yeah. I think he could. Sherman obviously doesn't get targeted anymore because he's such a good defender. So that rules out maybe one half of the field. So I think with that option and just other cogs turning, I think for Seahawks, they got out of jail last week, and I think they'll go on with it again this week. So. That's my take on it.
Yeah, that's a good analogy there.
But again, I wouldn't be surprised. Don't get me wrong. If I come back,
it's a shootout, like we said.
If I come back in here next week and I have to hear all about that one, I'll be pretty upset. The Steelers at the Broncos. So Big Ben walking wounded, and Antonio Brown, as you just reported, is out. That pretty much all but seals the Broncos, doesn't it?
It's a funny thing because when Big Ben is playing, anything goes. I mean, this guy is a multiple Super Bowl winner as well. He does have some I don't know if they're tore or strained ligaments in his shoulder. He had a partial separation, and this is in his throwing shoulder, by the way. So it's going to be really interesting to see if he can drive the ball down the field, which I don't know if he can. This is definitely going to be a defensive matchup. There's a question mark for the Broncos because they are now starting Peyton Manning for the first time since week 7 or week 8.
Yeah. Which way would you have gone with that? I thought the way that they in week 16, I think when they were down and they started with Brock Osweiler and then brought Peyton on to win him the game, I thought that was a good way of going about it.
Yeah, it was, and it worked. The good thing is it worked. If it didn't work, then they would be talking about how that was the worst decision of the season. But good for them, it worked. With that win, it got them the top seed in the AFC, which has put them in the position to get the Steelers. And these guys are no strangers. They played earlier in the year. It was late in the season though, and Denver actually lost to Pittsburgh, which almost cost them the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
But if you go back, these guys have some history. If you remember the name Tim Tebow, a few years back, Pittsburgh played at Denver. Tim Tebow hit an 80-yard touchdown pass in overtime to win the game.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of bad blood and bad taste in their mouth. Pittsburgh's going to look to win. But, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think the game you're talking about where Steelers obviously rolled the Broncos earlier in the season, that was when Antonio Brown, I think, ran for close to 200 yards. So I think with no Antonio Brown, it leaves the rookie who took a spectacular catch last week through the legs.
Yeah, Martavius Bryant.
That's it.
He's an acrobat out there. He did a forward somersault and caught the ball in between his legs in the back of the end zone. It was incredible.
Yeah, so for me, I think without Antonio Brown, it just means that Bryant's now the number 1 target. I don't know whether that's good enough. So I struggle to see where Ben may get the points, and I think Peyton will get the job done for me. Josh, yourself?
Yeah, Peyton with the Bronx.
And James?
Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos, too. Their defense is really solid, and they seem to have all their pieces in place.
Excellent, boys. All right, we also did, just to touch on, I thought it was a bit worth getting your opinion on, LA now get a team.
Yeah, well, they're bringing the Rams back. If you know any of the history, the LA Rams actually started out there in Los Angeles. Then they were moved around a little bit, landed in St. Louis. They had some good runs there. I think it's a good thing. LA needs a team. It's a huge market. It adds a lot to the NFL having another huge market team. They've also invited San Diego to join them as a joint city team. It'll still be it'll still be the Chargers and it'll still be the Rams, but they'll share a stadium and all that. I think it's a good thing. It's going to be really good to see that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing it doesn't take off until 2019, doesn't it? The stadium won't be ready until then, so they'll be playing at college stadiums, I think, in the interim. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it appears they're going to be playing at the LA Coliseum for the time being, which is where the USC Trojans, the college team, plays. It's a nice big stadium. It's a famous stadium, but yeah, they're building like a megalithic structure. If you get online and you just look at it, this thing is like a full entertainment center. It's way more than just a football stadium. You think the stadium in Dallas is state of the art? Check this one out.
Yeah. And the other thing I thought worth getting your opinion on as well is Hugh Jackson, now the Cleveland coach. What were your thoughts being a Cleveland fan?
Well, okay. I'm a little split on this one, just for the simple fact that this is now our 7th coach in the last 8 seasons. Cleveland is well known to hire and fire coaches when it doesn't work out right away. So I've been fooled before where I was really excited about a coach coming in and then he didn't get the job done, or more so, the owner didn't give him enough time to build his team to get the players he needs. But I think they're going with a different approach now. They've decided to bring analytics into the decision making of the game, which is it's something that trends in basketball, it trends in baseball, but not many people use analytics just yet in football. But they're going for that. Hugh Jackson, he's a great coach. He's respected by everyone who's ever played for him. He did have a stint where he was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders for 1 year, and they went 8-8, which is the best record they've had in, at that point, it was the best record they had in over a decade. So he has experience. He has a game plan. He's outspoken. He's strong-willed. It's good for the city.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Just quickly as well on the new head coach we've got the new 49ers head coach as well, Chip Kelly. Do you know much about him?
Yeah, Chip Kelly. So he made his name and his fame in college football. He coached out at Oregon, the Oregon Ducks, and he took a program that was, only people from the area knew about it. They weren't really a big thing, and he turned them into a monster where they had national championship runs and all that. He runs this offense. He's kind of mixed like a West Coast and a spread vertical offense together. He has his own up-tempo offense. He did great in Philly. Look, his first two seasons in Philly with minimal talent, they went 10-6 each of the first two seasons. This year it was a mess, but he's going to San Francisco. He's kind of inheriting another mess.
Yeah,
I think he's a good coach, but the NFL is a different animal compared to college football. So we'll see if he can get these guys on the same page. I think Chip Kelly, he's very excited about Colin Kaepernick. He fits his offensive scheming well, and we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a total success or a total disaster.
Yeah, it should be interesting for him. And I mean, obviously, you wouldn't think that they could do any worse than they did this year under Jim Chomisula. So yeah, it should be interesting. Like you said, he's very exciting with his offense, so it should be good.
Yeah, I'm ready to see that.
All right, James, well, thank you for that. We do appreciate your time and with us this morning. The champ is here, and he certainly turned it on for us this morning.
All right. Hey, guys, thanks for having me. You have a great day. I'm going to go back to eating my bacon.
Good.
Cheers, James.
Good man.
All right, guys, bye.
See you, James. And that was James Farnsworth with a new segment, The Champ is Here. Just back to the LA Rams, we did have this song.
Oh, this is.
If this isn't enough,
Big bad Jackie and I'm starting this off. The Rams get down so nobody's scoff. And don't you worry, cause the Rams are
Ram it.
when game time comes, we'll be back to
I love it.
We can't sing and our dance is not pretty, but we'll do our best for the team and the city. So get on your feet and clap your hands. Let's ram it right now with the LA Rams.
Clap your hands for the LA Rams. If that isn't enough to bring them back to LA, I don't know what is.
If you can find that online somewhere, you can actually have a look at it. The film clip is just awesome.
Oh, just some of the moves. Just moving the legs. It's almost Will Smith-esque. Ooh, yeah. A bit of a groove. Well, that was a wonderful segment. The champ is here. So we are now going to go to a quick commercial. That's right, our first commercial for 2016. I know it's an hour in, but better late than never. As well as also a song, the Foo Fighters with Monkey Wrench. So we'll be back after these breaks. And we are now back live. Sorry about that, little bit of a technical issue there. First time bringing us back from an ad, so
Start blending into that a bit better.
yeah, let's try and watch that a little bit more closely. We now have our regular segment returning from 2015. A lot of people obviously follow him closely. We are actually going to be a lot more active on our Facebook page, which again, if you are new to the program, is Ball Talk at 2BACR 100.9 FM. So join us and follow all this tipping gold, which is about to come your way with Julian Holzman. Julian, are you there?
I am, Dan. How are you going?
Good to have Bush Best back for another year, mate. What's news?
What's news? I'm just up at the Central Coast with the family on a short break, but it's been quite a generous hunting season throughout the Christmas period. So hopefully we can continue for your listeners.
Let's hope so. You have a good break, mate. You enjoyed the Christmas and New Year's period.
Well, I had a couple of kids to look after there for about a week and a half with my wife at work, but I'm just having a few days off now and having a few more in February, but that shouldn't stop Bush Best coming your way.
Excellent.
Yourselves?
Yeah, very quiet for myself. Didn't really get up to too much.
I just work through, mate. Work through. No break for me.
All right, well, let's fire off into it. What have you got for us this week, mate?
Well, look, I've got a hell of a lot in my black book this weekend, but I'm having a bit of a trouble distilling it down to the best. But
Pick of the best.
Yeah, we can certainly start at Albury today in race 1. There's a horse there, Moonlight Duchess. Now, it's only had, I think, one run this time in. The leaders dominated the race, and this horse was 4 or 5 wide, basically the whole race, coming around them. Chased very hard to the line. I think just went under to the even money favourite. Today, it is a big field, but I think it's slightly down in class. If it reproduces what it did last start, it should be winning. I was just sitting there at breakfast at the buffet before. It had the form guide in front of me. I don't know where they get some of these odds from. There's $11 in the paper. If it was $11, I'd be jumping out of trees to take that.
Really?
But, $4.60 on Bet365, so I think $5 is more realistic. So start off with Albury 1.
Yep.
Then we go up to Tuncurry. Tuncurry race 2, a horse called Have a Zack. I got this one into my black book 2 starts ago. It was a field of about 12. I think it was last on the turn, stormed down the outside and ran third. I probably would have won in another 50 metres on that day. And then went to the provincials where it was outclassed to Tuncurry. This isn't strong. The only reservation I have is a 2,200 metre race, and the one I black booked it in was only 1,400, but had a quick look through the form, and they did take it to all the provincials, Newcastle, Kembla, etc., last preparation. So they obviously think it can stay. They were over longer distances. So I think today it's 4th up as well, so it's ready to go. So, and another one, $16 in the paper, but Sportsbet, they haven't missed it at $6.50. So I think that each way, Have a Zack, race 2, Tuncurry.
Yep.
Now there's another one, race 4 there. It's not actually in my black book, but I just cited it a couple of starts ago. It was in a very strong race. Number 1, Big Sunny. Now, it is $16 on the sports bet. There's only $9 in the paper, so I flipped it around the other way with that one. But it is way down in class today from its last couple. And 2 starts ago, it was in a decent field. It was just about to do something in the straight, and it sort of stopped in its tracks. I didn't see the last run, but knowing what the fields at Tuncurry are like, I think it can show up today. And
should be fairly strong.
The trainer Colt Prosser, he doesn't generally train slow horses, so he's kept this one. And I think the girl who's riding it, Molly Partridge, she's in form.
Yep.
Drawn well, $16. I think you could do a lot worse. We'll then go to Kembla.
Yeah.
Kembla race 4, horse called Loves Me Tender. I'm a big fan of the Lesbridge stable. He's another one who doesn't have slow horses. He's generally very good with fillies and mares. This one was 50-1 at its first start, and I thought that was a bit strange. Lesbridge very rarely has something at 50-1. 51, and I didn't back it at Kembla, and it loomed up with about 100 metres to go. And I think it's run 4th, beaten about 2 lengths. He since sent it back to the trials, which I like, at Randwick, where it got beaten a length. And it reappears today. Now, this one was, again, it was $20 in the paper, but I see Sportsbet have it at $8. So I think each way, the race doesn't look overly strong either. So race 4 at Kembla, Loves Me Tender. I'll then jump to Randwick today. I know it's meant to be bush best.
Ooh.
But
must have seen something you like then.
Well, it's a sort of a
bush horse coming in.
Well, it's in the Tab Highway race, which is for bush horses trained outside the city area.
Yep.
Who have won no more than 3 races, so you never know. We might get in a clinch up there this.
That would be
summer.
nice. That would be nice
if she could show some form. The horse is called Another Valley. I think it's the bottom one, maybe number 12 or 13. Now, this horse won a maiden very easily at Taree, the day I was on course there. Then won a Class 1 just as easily, and they brought it to town last start for the highway race. It was in the market. It had absolutely no luck. The last 100 metres, it got to the outside and started storming home. This is no stronger by any means, and $12 each way. I think it deserves a bet.
What race was that one?
Race 5. Well, it's the bottom horse in the form, Another Valley. It's number 12 or 13.
Yep.
That's all for today.
Yep.
And tomorrow I've got one for you. Now, this might be some odds, but I'm not sure. they're saying that we're trying to tip you things at reasonable prices.
Yeah.
Race 2 at Ballina tomorrow. A horse called Merendi. I saw it at Moolumbar last start. It got a long way back, I think over 1,200 metres, and I noticed at the last 100 it was powering to the line. At 100 metres past the post, it had basically caught up to the place getters. So it's stepped up 200 metres in distance tomorrow. Just a quick look at the form. There's nothing special in it, so if it runs like it did last start, it should be in the finish. So that's Ballina Race 2, Merendi.
Excellent. No worries. I've got these all down. Sorry, we hate sitting there in silence, but we're writing it all down as much detail as we can possibly get as well, so that way we can post it a little bit later in the show as well.
Yep, no problem.
Easy, mate. Well, we look forward to obviously following those over the weekend. Big day today. We've obviously 5 to follow, and then the one tomorrow at Ballina. Yep. So exciting times ahead. Hopefully we get off to the right foot like we did last year as well.
Exactly. Well, I think if you have, I'm not sure what your betting stake is a 1x2 or 1x3. If one of those win, you should have covered the bets and all the others. So we'll hope for a couple of winners.
Excellent. We'll look forward to that, and thank you thanks for your time, especially while you're away, mate.
No problems. I'm glad you haven't mentioned Crystal Palace because they haven't scored in 380 minutes of league football.
I'm sure that was on the tip of Joshua's tongue.
No, we'll stay away from that. We'll just go over the tips today.
All right, boys.
All right, Jules. Thanks for your time.
Speak to you next week.
Certainly will.
Goodbye.
And that was Julian Holzman with Bush Best there, obviously a Crystal Palace fan who isn't enjoying a good time of it at the moment. We now are going to go through... We aren't actually going to do this segment today because I foolishly...
got ahead of himself.
I foolishly didn't print the page that I thought I printed. We are going to have a new segment from next week, though, around this time, which we'll be going live with. The concept, I guess, for the listeners out there, I don't know if it's worthwhile explaining, but we might as well.
We'll do it.
It's called A Moment in Time with Dan or Josh Boyd Myers. So each week we're going to pick a sporting moment of relevance, whether it be in Australian history or whether it's just a great sporting...
big moment. A big moment in sport, basically.
We've got a whole list here that we've drawn up, and then we're just going to draw randomly to then be able to go through it and, I guess, get all the facts or get the lead in, just get into a real sort of Bruce McAvaney sort of style story and bring you a moment from our time, as well as also maybe a bit of an audio clip as well. So I'm underprepared this week, being a bit busy. So
just also with this, we'll get to it next week, and you'll sort of hear what it is all about. But if anybody out there that is listening does have any suggestions for a big sporting moment, don't hesitate to get onto the Facebook on Ball Talk there and just shoot us a suggestion, and could even have a listener's choice.
We also do want to promote a text line as well, where you can text us in your thoughts or your feedback as well at any time during the show. We'd be all too happy to hear it. Josh, you've got the text line there?
I do.
You do? Your number is
0498
0498
99 06.
Excellent, just perfect. The listeners,
this is just a temporary number. There will be a new number coming next week.
Will there?
Yes.
Excellent, no worries. So we're going to get a burner, are we?
Yes.
Well,
I'm already popular enough. I don't need more messages coming in.
If you do have any song requests, or even if you just want to correct us, because at the end of the day we know we're going to be making a few mistakes. So if you want to send us a few things in or any feedback, we've got the Facebook account, we've also got Instagram, and we've also got now the text line.
Josh's number.
No, the text line. That's what we're calling it. So settle down. We've got the text line up and running now. So that number again is 0498 99 06. So feel free to text it, even hate mail.
No. Only positive stuff. We're a positive show.
We are indeed.
We are a positive show. Let's just keep it that way and just keep it PG-13.
Yeah. We can only read out certain things on air, obviously. We are... So the moment in time, just to recap, we will be going through that. I do apologise. I even had the Chariots of Fire music lined up and ready to roll.
Poorly prepared.
But yeah, just failed last night. We've got distracted with a wonderful movie called Law Abiding Citizen. So thanks for making me watch that. We are now going to go to a quick break. I know that I know it's gone quickly. We've only got 40 minutes left in the show. So after the break, we're going to come back with a goodie and an old favourite.
Favourite.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. People have been texting me all off season saying, bring back the good, bad, and ugly. We've missed it. We're also going to promote our new segment as well a little bit later in the show. And we've changed one of our names for one of the segments from last year.
We'll keep it till the end.
Yeah, we'll save it. We'll give a bit of a teaser for the audience there. So make sure you're tuning in after this song. This one's an Australian band, Snackadactyl, and it's called Ghost. So we'll be right back after this break. And listening to Ball Talk there. We are now going to go into a new sort of segment. We're sort of just going to go through the good, the bad, and the ugly, which is an old fan favourite, which a lot of people have been messaging throughout the year. So we will be making sure that we kick that all off now. The first, actually, I might take the lead on this one, Josh. Whilst the Australians have been, I guess while we were away during the off season, the Australian cricket team obviously took off and made sure that they dominated as well. They took, I guess they cleaned through the New Zealand team with a pretty comprehensive win. A few calls went against New Zealand in that series, maybe that could have turned the games around, but overall I thought Australia were quite the dominant team. Again, that was replicated when it comes to the West Indies game as well. We were all over them as well, and it seems as though it's kicked back off with the Indian series. So regardless of whether it being a test match or whether it be a one-dayer, it seems as though the Australian teams are still able to perform at the moment and still able to obviously get the chocolates. I think for me, the good thing that I'm seeing is the blokes, not only Steve Smith are actually standing up, but the fact that the Australian selectors are taking a gamble and bringing in a plethora of youth into the team, making sure that they're bleeding younger guys, because at the end of the day there is a tour coming up against. I think they've got the 2020 World Cup, so. This is a good opportunity to blood some new guys into the team, as well as also getting an opportunity for, I guess, blokes to cement their spot in the squad at the moment. Last night, I think you would have seen, for those that did miss it, another record chase occurred at the Gabba with, I think, the two openers, Sean Marsh and Aaron Finch both getting a 71. You then had Steve Smith coming in and doing what he's been doing pretty well lately and getting off to a good start. I think he got 46 and then was clean bowled through just the ball skidded on, it seemed as though. So I think the good thing is the Australian bowlers are being rotated around, and that means that a lot of blokes that normally wouldn't be getting game time are actually getting game time. For example, I think we've had 3 debutants in the last two games alone, so good opportunity for them to obviously do that, and we will be looking forward to that. We do have to quickly go to a quick ad commercial note, so we will be right back after this quick little break, and we hope to have you back with us as well.
High blood pressure is the leading cause of stroke, Australia's second biggest killer behind heart disease. You could be suffering from high blood pressure without any warning signs at all. Don't let a stroke be your first sign of high blood pressure. Look out for this sign at a pharmacy near you and have a free blood pressure check today.
I started good, bad, and ugly without you. And we do apologise for that quick little disturbance there. If you might want to explain to the listeners what just happened there.
Yeah, so the song before that one, I'd actually gone outside just to have a little toilet break. And as I went outside, an alien appeared.
An alien appeared?
Yeah, an alien appeared, and it abducted me. It felt like forever, but it was probably about 2 minutes.
It did.
But yeah, when I'd come back, the door was locked, so I couldn't actually get in.
So I'm sitting here trying to talk through good, bad, and ugly, trying to hold my composure as the minutes were ticking by.
Yeah, so I do apologise for that. It's a little bit first day back, a bit tardy, you know. But we're back.
Oh, you're not tardy. We checked it twice.
So, do you want to go with what was your good?
My good bad. Oh, you missed it all, mate. I was talking to myself, so you might have to tune into the podcast. My bad for the week was the Essendon, obviously, drug saga finally played out, and I think 17 blokes were handed a suspension as well. I think that might have been your one as well.
Yeah, that was my bad one as well.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're now 12 blokes are suspended from Essendon. 5 have moved on to other clubs, which are also going to be suspended until, I think, November next year. So a whole 12 months out of the system. A lot of teams are going to have to be compensated because of that. Because
it's a tough time for Essendon, isn't it? I mean, you've got the players that they do have contractually that aren't allowed to obviously play for the year, but you've got these players that now have moved on from other clubs. You're gonna think there's going to be legal actions. Like you said, they're going to have to be compensated for these other teams that have got these players because they're not allowed to play after spending however much money that they have to bring them to the club. So you probably are going to find a bit of legal action against the Essendon Bombers, which is just going to make it even harder for them, and they're going to be in even a bit more turmoil than they're already in.
The worst part is their new coach, John Worsfield, started like this season as well. He's now coming to a squad where he's got 12 of his top players gone. He's having to bring through... They're only allowing 10 rookies to come through, or not rookies, but I guess undrafted players that they're allowed to pick from. So it just makes it a little bit tougher.
It'd be interesting to see what the betting would be for the Bombers.
You'd have to have ruled them out of the wooden spoon race, wouldn't you?
I don't know. Yeah,
you would have to. Like you can't. You're not allowed to. Like surely there's no benefit in them now without any of their players being allowed to actually jump on that. At the end of the day, they've got all their squad gone. You can't then go, oh, well, they might not still get last. They are going to come last. That's unfortunately the way it's going to play out.
Okay, so I've just had a quick look at one of the betting agencies, and they've got, instead of wooden spoon, they've got most losses. Okay, so the most losses is obviously Essendon by a fair way. And yeah, so they're pretty favoured to have the most losses, not the wooden spoon. That's just this betting agency. I'm sure there are other ones that will have it differently. But yeah, it's quite interesting, and it's tough for them because I mean, you look at these players. It's tough for these players that have now a 12-month ban. If I don't want to sort of switch the codes, but if you look at Cronulla. What did their players get? 3 months?
3 games, yeah. They missed out on 3 games. It's pretty tough, I thought. Although it's disgusting the way the Cronulla players were treated.
All right, let's go back to what we're actually talking about. It's just not fair on those players. Like they've been through the whole 12 months beforehand of turmoil, going through being in the papers every day, darkest day in history for the sport, blah blah blah. And now that they've sort of cleared all that, it then gets thrown to somewhere else, and they get a 12-month suspension. Where you got players from Cronulla who got off lightly.
Yeah, I think the difference. I was just reading an article here from Roy Masters as well, which I kept earlier in the week. The main difference is that the Sharks admitted taking the banned drugs, while the Bombers, over 3 long years, have persistently pleaded they did nothing wrong. Yeah. But that's the thing. You've now then been found guilty. It's the same as a criminal charge. If you plead guilty, you are then handed a lesser sentence than fighting it and saying you're innocent, and then being found guilty anyway. And I think that's what it is all about. I don't know if it's fair. It's hard for me to say, but I look, if whether the players knew or whether they didn't know, is that is neither here nor there, but the fact that Essendon have now put their players in that position is an awful, awful thing. And as you said, there's going to be plenty of suits going around as far as lawsuits and slanders and all the rest of it. So I don't see it being a good time for any Essendon fan out there. So tough times ahead for them, but hopefully it means that the club, or I guess the supporters, band together and really get behind
sort of get a clean slate after the next 12 months, and just hopefully they can start fresh and just get back to where they were back to where they were 3 or 4 years ago.
Absolutely right. What is your good for the week?
My good, it's good. Obviously it's been a long off season with the NRL. You got the Auckland Knights coming back. What is it, a couple of weeks away, 6th of February, 6th, 7th, 8th of February. I think it's roughly around then. So it's good to start to see some of the teams that are progressing, that are coming through. Just reading a few articles, you got the New Zealand Warriors, who look like they're taking their big 3 over there with Sean Johnson, or they're already over there.
I was going to say, I didn't want to.
So they're looking to bring they're looking to have Sean Johnson, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and
Isaac Luke.
I was thinking of Lachlan Coote for some reason. So yeah, they're all those 3 are going to be there for that side for the New Zealand Warriors, and that's a big, big thing. Obviously they look good every year when they're there. They're sort of that exciting Auckland Nines type of team, aren't they? There's big news coming out for the Roosters. They've brought another legend, I suppose you could call him, back to play for the Nines with Braithen Astor, looking like he's going to play. So that'll be a quite interesting one. I'm sure our father would have something nice to say about that.
Yeah, I don't know, Paul. He's had plenty of clubs. Like, surely you'd bring back Craig Fitzgibbon before you would bring back Braith. Fitzy still looks like he could play.
Fit, yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to end up. At least now maybe it's because that he's broken up with his partner that all of a sudden he feels as though he can take his anger out on the field.
So yeah, and you got Matty Bowen as well. It looks like he's coming back from over in England just to have a quick stint in the Nines.
That seems okay.
So that's a quite interesting one as well for who'll be playing for the Cowboys, obviously. And it's just exciting times ahead. You got the NRL season coming up. You got finally the whole Bird situation with Cronulla is re-signed. Now it's just a matter of where's he going to play.
The bird has stayed in the nest, as they like to say.
Yeah, so that's good things for the NRL coming forward.
Yeah, well, looking forward to a big season. Obviously, there's going to be plenty of NRL coverage with us here, but at the end of the day, the Nines is just around the corner. You can almost feel it.
It's exciting. It's always exciting, isn't it?
It is going to be exciting. We're looking forward to obviously covering that as well. We might even have a Roosters fan doing a little bit of an intro as far as the Nines and who he thinks are the teams to watch and all the rest of that sort of stuff. So that could be in the process. We're just trying to negotiate terms of that one. Your bad.
What was your good?
My good, mate, the cricket. I was talking to myself for 2 minutes while you're out being abducted by aliens. Australia dominating. Not only have they beaten New Zealand in a clean sweep, defeated West Indies in a clean sweep, they've now set 2 record run chases. Yep. With a largely inexperienced lineup. Sorry, we're just distracted by a bloke on the TV. It looks like a little bit of a creep. The bowling attack has been very lackluster, but as I was saying before to myself, they're trying to blood you guys with Boland and Paris and stuff like that.
And it's sort of good that they're doing that, because at the at the end of the day, like the batting team is helping him out so much that they can afford to bring the younger bowlers in and sort of blood them with your likes of Hazelwood out and Stark out. It's good. The cricket's going well for Australia at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, the Big Bash is also killing it as well at the moment. So it's really up and about. I've been caught watching the Big Bash countless times, and I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah. Plenty of late nights when they shouldn't be.
Whilst we're on the Big Bash, this is actually a part of my ugly. So if we just going to pause for a moment and listen to this audio.
What are we going here? I know.
Oh, hang on. Probably have
smashing this innings.
Yeah, definitely.
Bit of Chris Gale.
Well.
Controversy.
Just to see eyes for the first time. It's nice. So hopefully win this game and we can have a drink after. Don't blush, baby.
I'm not blushing. Any injuries? Did you have the boys were saying maybe you picked up a bit of a twinge in your hamstring?
Yeah, no, it's my back. I've been, struggling with my back. The weather kind of actually flared up a bit. So, just to get some physio work and hopefully I finish the tournament. So I'm looking forward to go recover well and look in your eyes.
We're going to leave it on that note. Well done. Thanks.
One of the more extraordinary.
Bit cold. Obviously, that was an ugly turn of events. That's probably the only thing that has gone wrong for the Big Bash at the moment.
Given nothing, he was.
No, fair enough. So, I don't think Mel's obliged to sort of play along with that, and I think she handled herself pretty well.
Yeah.
Especially in the coming days when there's a big media furore about it, and a lot of people were jumping on the bandwagon about how it was disgraceful. Look, it's not the best thing. I'm not an advocate for the way Chris Carver behaved at all. But at the end of the day,
bit of tongue in cheek.
Oh mate, is it the biggest issue going on in the world right now? You got people suicide bombing and stuff like that. Chris Carver saying, "I want to look into a girl's eyes." Oh jeez,
asking them out for a drink and
let's just go. Let's just get up in arms about that for a month and then carry on about. It was unnecessary. I don't understand why there's such. I understand why if she took exception to it, fair enough. But that's between them two. Just because it was in public doesn't mean everyone needs to go, oh, here's my opinion on it. This is what I think. Chris Carr's a pig. And
it's done and it's done.
Exactly right. So let's all move on. So,
you can hear there even with the commentators. Like, you could hear them laughing in the background. And like we said, there's nobody supporting it. But, mate, if you're taking it that serious, there's something wrong.
Yeah, just lighten up.
It's a bit of tongue in cheek and just move on. He got a fine. He's copped the fine and he's looking for possibly being suspended from ever coming to play in the Australian Big Bash League again. But it's just overreactions.
Knee-jerk reaction. That would be a knee-jerk reaction.
All right. My ugly comes to my Chelsea side. It's ugly, but it's good at the same time. The reign of Jose Mourinho is finally done. I think it might have been a week after we'd actually gone off air. He'd been released from the club, not sacked. He was mutually released. So there's always that chance of him coming back. No bad blood there. So yeah, just unfortunate that he's had such a tough season, and you'd have to think that he's lost. I mean, we talked about it earlier during the year. You'd have to think he'd lost a lot of the locker room. Gus Hiddink, who's a former Australian coach mastermind, has come into Chelsea, and he's made some bigger decisions, and it's sort of showing. We're still obviously low on the table, and we, like I said to you a bit earlier, we haven't lost a game in about 5 or 6 games, which is unbeaten for him. In regards, he hasn't lost, but we're not getting the wins that we should be getting in the draws. So my ugly is just Chelsea in a hole, to be honest.
Yeah, well, what's the table looking like at the moment? Because you guys are sitting 14th, only 5 points clear at the moment.
Yeah, 5 points clear, I think.
Yeah, so not unrealistic to see.
I actually read something earlier today. Gus has come out and actually said, he goes, it is a relegation battle at the moment. I mean, if you have a look at who is in 5th place, I think it's Tottenham. I think they're only 12 points ahead of us, so it's not like it's that far of a difference, but they are in a relegation battle, and I think the 2 teams down the bottom are pretty much safe to be relegated, but there's still that one spot there, and we're not that far off it.
Oh, I think Aston Villa are the only one that are locked in. You then got Newcastle and Sunderland on 18.
True, yeah. Newcastle have been going well the last couple of days.
Yeah, I know. So should be interesting. I think they got a lucky draw against Man United just the other day.
Crack a goal there.
Yes, both of them. I think Rooney's one.
No, actually, the whole midweek EPL, there was some really great goals in there. It was good to watch.
Yeah, I think Arsenal and Liverpool had some really good ones as well.
So. Scrape the barrel there, didn't you?
Oh, give it away. 2-0.
92nd minute equaliser.
Up 2-0, and then we let them claw back. Don't worry about us. We're sweet.
So yeah, while we're here, we're just going a little bit. We've also got Leicester as well. That everyone sort of expected them before the Christmas and New Year's break. Oh yeah, they're gone, they're done.
They had a lot of tough games. They were up against City, up against Arsenal, up against Everton. I think. So still
equal first. Still equal first.
3 points clear of Man City, equal with Arsenal. So still equal first. The dream is still alive. Dare to dream like.
They played Tottenham twice during the week. One in the FA Cup and the EPL. And one of the blokes that actually come out and sledged him after both games, I think it was Jan Vertonghen from Tottenham, and basically said that everybody knows what they're doing, that all they're doing, they run, And that's perfectly fine, and everybody does know that they do that. So they put their long balls in and they run and they score. But the fact that they execute it that well is that nobody can stop them doing it. I mean, if it's working, it's working. Do what you got to do, isn't it?
Sounds like sour grapes to me, but
oh yeah, of course it is. But like I said, at the end of the day, and it come back to the same situation. I mean, everybody knew what Chelsea did last year. They'd get ahead and they would defend. And if it means you win the title, why does it matter how you play them?
Yeah, exactly right. A win's a win. If you're getting the wins on the board, I don't think anyone's going to be complaining
Exactly right.
about the style of play.
Yep.
So, just sounds a little bit like sour grapes for me.
Yeah.
Tottenham
getting done both games. So.
Yeah, well, Tottenham aren't going badly, but it just seems as though they don't like to see Leicester at the top.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's more as that they're part of the top 5. You'd say Tottenham. So to see little old lonely Leicester coming from the bottom or near the bottom last year to then be top of the ladder, I think they still don't have that respect to those bigger clubs, which is fair enough because it is a bit of a fairy tale, isn't it? So,
yeah.
But I mean, they're still there.
Dare the dream, boys. All right, well, we're going to go to a quick song and then we'll come back after that and promote a new segment that we've got going down. And then also let's recapture our old segment, but with a new name. So we'll be back after this. This is the Hoodoo Gurus, one of the classic Australian bands with 1,000 Miles Away.
Estimated time of arrival.
And we are back live here at 2BACR and Ball Talk as always,
Nice.
From always.
Nice little Hoodoo Gurus.
Yeah, a bit of the Hoodoo Gurus, and I thought my seamless work from the ad break was much better than the first go.
So getting the hang of it.
Much more calmer. We're back, baby. Well, we've now got just over 10 minutes left in the show, so we wanted to promote a new segment as well, which we'll probably be running, which we will be
doing today.
We will be doing throughout the year as well. We're going to be, as you can probably tell, if you are new to the show, or if you're a long-term listener, welcome again. We're trying to get a little bit more active on our socials and try to promote the page a little bit more. So if you are on our Facebook account and you are listening, please share it with your friends. We aren't too bad to listen to, I promise you. We've heard some other people on radio, so we're not that bad. I know that my seamless work with the radio, with the computer is sometimes it's not as good as some other people, but at the end of the day, we're still having a go. We're just some battlers.
Just having a dig.
And that's what it's all about. And so we're going to try and also do a segment which we're going to call
Bro Down.
Oh, yeah. So this is a competition. Did you want to run through it, what it's all about?
It's just so it's going to be similar to something that we sort of had last year. It's just a lot more literal this time, isn't it?
It is.
The segment I was talking about was dollar bets, sure.
Yeah. That's gone.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But instead of just having tips, what we're going to do this year is we're going to actually go outside, get a bit active, you know.
Get into the community is what it's all about. We are a community radio station, so why not?
Get a bit active and let's have a competition, eh?
Yeah, that's
brother versus brother, bro down.
It's bro down, bro.
All right, so basically the concept is we're going to go out there every 2 weeks, roughly, probably.
Yeah, approximately.
We'll film it, so we'll have it on our Facebook page as well. We'll try and get some quick grabs as well that we can sort of try and promote onto here as well. And basically what we're going to be doing is having a competition against each other. So
head to head.
1v1. It's on.
It is on. So we'll be looking forward to having that. There'll also probably be audio grabs that we'll probably use throughout the show as well. So hopefully we can bring you, I guess, as good of a summary as it is, not only with us, obviously, just telling you and recounting it, but also, I guess, the audio from the moments.
And a bit of viewing as well. If you get onto the Facebook, you can view it as well. So that's going to be the best thing about it.
At the end of the day, I want to be able to show you live how hard Joshua takes it when I do the stream at these events. We're also going to be wearing some costumes, so we are obviously getting out into the community and supporting, I guess, Salvos as well. So, wonderful organisation, giving you the chance to obviously buy previously owned clothes. At the end of the day, we live in a fast-paced world where we don't really think about how clothes are made. So, good opportunity just to save a little bit of, I guess, the world. I guess world over. We don't need to always keep buying new clothes. We can always reuse clothes at the end of the day.
That's it. Are we going to say what we're doing today? Or we're just going to leave
might
it?
as well. Why not?
Okay, so basically, we're going to have our first one. Yeah, we're going to have the first bro down today. We're going to go out after this. As a matter of fact, like Daniel just mentioned, we'll go to Salvo's first. We'll try and get a little costume together, and that costume's basically going to, or hopefully, it will stay with us for the rest of the year.
I can see me ripping mine.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So that's just going to make it a little bit more interesting as well. But our first one today, we're going to do a bit of football, NRL. Obviously, we do love our NRL, so we thought we'd start it off with that. And we're going to have a game of horse. But the game of horse is going to be place kicks.
Oh, it is indeed. I've just realised that I left the kicking tee at home, so I'll have to do a run back home to get that one. Where is our nearest sporting field that's going to still have footy posts up as well? I just thought about. Maybe
Middleton.
Yeah, maybe that can be an off-air one. But yeah, we'll be looking to obviously capture that a little bit later today and get back out into the field. So we hope to bring you next week some audio, and I look forward to obviously hopefully taking the 1-0 victory in this one.
That's it. I'm pretty confident. Couldn't tell you the last time I had a place kick a goal, but I'm pretty confident.
I do think that you probably will still have me covered. That's the worst part. I'm not doing too well with
I suppose me kicking the soccer ball helps a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly right.
Get the extra power in the legs. I might throw one from 50 out.
I don't know about 50 yet, but we can at least have a shot. Maybe if you've got the strong breeze behind you, you could.
Yeah, it has been windy the last couple of days, so
it has indeed. We now do have another segment which we wanted to start. Hang on just 1 second while I try and get. We're going to try and have a theme song for this one as well, and here it is. Let's listen to it. Let's just hope I've actually got the right grab here. And our new segment is actually going to be called... That will do, mate.
Let's get tipsy.
If that isn't seamless, I don't know what is. So we used to have a program called $1 Bet Show. A lot of people weren't happy with the name of that segment.
Ooh.
There was backlash.
What? Really?
Maybe on the text line, which again just...
I actually just have got a text through from one of our listeners.
Oh, really?
Yep, just informing us that Middleton posts are up, so we probably will head out to Middleton there and just do it out there. And that was our boyhood club there. They now no longer exist in Twin Willow Warriors.
We will indeed.
So we'll head out there, and I'm sure we'll have some good memories from out there as well. So
all those times I broke my arm and got knocked out. That was probably my favourite one when I played against East Hills and got bowled over by the biggest bloke on the field. Well, that's good news. At least,
yeah.
Who do you want to credit who that was?
There was Anthony Myers.
Anthony
Myers.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Anthony Myers.
Yeah, thank you, listener.
Yeah, thank you, listener.
So let's get tipsy. As we just said, it's...
Sorry, what was that?
Let's get...
I couldn't have said it better myself, Jaquan.
So yeah, it's just basically it's the take of what we had last year with our $1 bets, which I think the listeners should know that I did come up with that name, and I wasn't even informed that this name had been changed.
Well, do you appreciate...
Is this a democracy?
Do you appreciate the name change or what?
I don't mind it.
I think the listeners are going to love it.
So we're just going to have to keep this grab for a long time. I think it is good. I will note it, but in future, just little decisions like this, it's got to be talk between us.
I will run it by you, but maybe next time when you choose to be abducted, you won't take so long. I actually had that meeting with you, but you weren't here. So we've got the new segment.
Yeah, we'll just... who won last year?
Well, I think it was by a long way.
I think it was probably about $20 or so.
Yeah, it was
convincing win. The concept is it's
your
just
group ones was what saved.
Yeah, they did save me. So the concept is, if for the new listeners out there, it's just me and my brother Dan here. We have $1 to bet with each week. This is just pretend money. It's just to tally it up. Basically, we're not actually going out there and having a punt on it. So it's just it's basically like our bro down. It's just a little bit of a separate competition where we throw $1 on something each week, and obviously I can be crowned winner again at the end of the year.
We'll wait and see about that. I've got something to say about that. I actually don't think I'm going to go too badly this year. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I am good to go. I'm ready and I'm just riled up for this.
All right, well, if you're riled up, let's go. Let's start it off. What's the number one tip for the year? Where are we starting with this?
Well, we started off the show with the champ is here with James, our American correspondent out there. We're talking about a game which I actually disagreed with you both on. It was the Seahawks game.
Yep.
I went with Seattle to win that one with 1 to 6 points. I don't think it'll be much in it. I think it'll be a really close game. 1 to 6 points, and the odds earlier this morning were about $4.
Ooh, $4. That's some good value there.
Yeah, so I thought that would be a good game. I think either one of the options I thought where they were actually close to winning. I don't think it'll be a big blowout. I know there's going to be plenty of points scored.
It would be very, very tight. And like we said, it's a throw at the dartboard sort of game, isn't it? So it's good bet. Good bet with good value.
Exactly right. So what have you got for us this week?
I'm going to go to the soccer. As I'm going to follow one of the teams that I sort of tipped last year to be one of the better teams in the comp. They're doing all right at the moment. They're doing okay. I'm going to go with West Ham. West Ham against Newcastle. Simple head-to-head. $3 from odds this morning. And, yeah, I'm looking to get off as a good solid start. I'm not going to... for anyone that sort of listened last year, I sort of stayed away from those $1.50 bets that you were doing, and obviously that didn't pay out for you. So I'm gonna stick with where I'm at, go with the big guns, and look for the big money early. And it's the same as you. Obviously, this year you've taken a page out of my book.
No, I don't know about taking it out of your book, but I thought for myself, I just like that bet. Something for me.
It's a good bet.
I will be the first to admit to you, I'm not convinced New England's going to win tomorrow morning, so I will be up nice and early to watch that one. Yep. What have you got on for the rest of the weekend?
Nothing, I don't think.
No sport, nothing at all?
Nah.
Just me handing it to you in the bro down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Actually, no, I'm heading into this Wentworth Park tomorrow just with one of my mates from soccer. Have a nice little social game out there with some random people. We've never met them before. It's just sort of this little thing that we've come across, and you meet up with random people and play a game of soccer. So I'm looking forward to it. We were meant to do it last week, but had a bit of trouble there. So I'm just looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to the bro down. To be honest, it should be really good.
Looking forward. I got my boots in the car. We're good to go. So that looks like it could be us for this week.
Yeah. What's the time?
We've got a minute left. So
we've got a minute left. We do have a weatherman. But he's a bit under the weather today, so he won't be joining us this week. But hopefully our corresponding weatherman, Hayden Robinson, he will be back next week, hopefully. And I'm sure we can have some weather from Darwin.
Yeah, well, we might try and see maybe if we can get some sound effects going for the weatherman as well. It's been good to be back. A lot covered off, and it's good to have a 2-hour segment to cover it all off.
It's good. There's no real rush to do anything, is there? You can sort of go into detail a bit and...
Yeah, a little bit more insight instead of like forcing your words out, and I guess taking a little bit more time just to calmly and collectively get through it. Although over this side of the panel, sometimes it is a real dog's breakfast, and I do make a meal of it.
You've done well for the first show back. It's good.
All right, well, that's us for this week. Again, we do have to promote our Facebook and our Instagram account. So what was that again for the listeners, Joshua?
The Facebook's Ball Talk at 2BACR 100.9 FM. And our Instagram is Ball Talk Sports, all one word. So jump on that, and like we said at the start, exciting things for the year ahead.
We do also want to say that I'm going to be hopefully compiling these audios onto a YouTube account. I finally figured out how to actually do that.
Excellent.
It's been a long-winded process for me. I'm a bit of a goose when it comes to technology. So bear with us. We are going to be promoting a lot of that stuff on our Facebook account as well. So you will be able to listen to us or listen to any podcast and help promote our brand as well. Again, for those local sporting communities, please get in contact with us, and we'll be back same time next week. Thank you for tuning in for the first episode of 2016 Board Talk.
Hooroo.
Hooroo, and thanks for your time.
Connecting the community.
National Radio News. Hello, I'm James Lemon. Around 5,000 homes and businesses remain without power across Sydney, the Central Coast and Newcastle following severe weather. Thursday's storm brought down power lines and trees, initially cutting power to at least 80,000 homes. Energy companies expect to restore